the first few days of Anthony Albanese. I've not seen anything like it, where within 24 hours of being sworn in, he's there face-to-face meeting the President of the United States as well as a couple of other key allies in the region, Greg.
Yeah, another spectacular gift that ScoMo gave to Albo. And look, I've got to say, the Albanese government has started very well. You've got to take yes for an answer in this business. And, you know, I've asked the Labor Party to be responsible, bipartisan and tough-minded on national security. And that's exactly what they've done all through the Albanese opposition leadership and now in government. Well, how could you get a better first afternoon at work than having afternoon tea with the President of the United States and the Prime Ministers of India and Japan? And Albo certainly, you know, it wasn't a very difficult assignment. He just had to put one foot after another and reiterate Australian policy. But you can only play the game that you're given, so to speak. And Morrison gave him a wonderful way to begin his prime ministership, establish his prime ministerial authority, establish a relationship with those critical leaders and establish his bona fides on alliance issues.
Yeah, if you're an incoming Prime Minister, you'd almost, and you wrote a perfect, 48 hours, that'd be it, wouldn't it? To go to an ally like Japan, meet with the Indian Prime Minister as well, along with the US President. What about the language from Anthony Albanese? Were you reassured by that in terms of the continuity of the approach?
Yes, I certainly was. Not in a sense that I needed reassurance, because I think Albanese has been consistent on this, and so has Penny Wong, and so was Brendan O'Connor when he was the defence spokesman. I think two interesting things emerged. One is that the only change Albanese really announced is that he's going to be more active on climate change. Well, that, of course, is lovely for Joe Biden. Biden and Morrison had absolutely zero chemistry. So Biden will be very happy to hear that from Albanese. And the other interesting thing was Biden again threatening the Chinese with military retaliation if they take action against Taiwan. Now, I don't think we should be talking about war ever, but if the Americans do, it's a very serious matter, even if they walk it back a little bit. And I think Biden has sent the Chinese a pretty clear message, and the other members of the Quad were as one with Biden, although they did, quite rightly, they didn't use the same language. So I think this is a pretty constructive Quad meeting. And the other minor things Labor is doing, a little bit more aid to the South Pacific, a little bit more energy on Southeast Asia, that's all good stuff. Now, this is only the first couple of days, a long way between here and bedtime, so to speak, but this is a very, very solid, good, proper start by the Albanese government.
And Penny Wong off tomorrow. I'm almost out of time. I just want to get your thoughts on that. She's off tomorrow to the Pacific and going to be meeting with the leadership in Fiji, among others, Greg.
Yeah, so that's a very good move too. Despite the talk of the Pacific step up, we had the revelation in the Australian that the Cabinet rejected Maurice Payne's efforts to do more to counter the Chinese in Solomon Islands. Well, the first visit Penny Wong makes, other than going to the Quad with Albo, is to the South Pacific. Yeah. That's absolutely right. They've got to put their money where their mouth is. The South Pacific, like Joe Biden, will be very happy to hear the renewed rhetoric or the elevated rhetoric on climate change. So that's the right priority for Penny Wong, and I understand Albo's next trips will be to Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Look, if I was advising this might hurt the government, but if I was advising them, I couldn't have advised them to start better than this.